World Strong Reviews. What's up, y'all? This is Ezekiel. Alright, so today's video, we got two we're gonna go ahead and do. So I just finished Agency yesterday, and I want to say that I'll give Agency a score of 8 out of 10. So I personally think it was very good. I think for a lot of y'all might think it's a little slow. So like I said in my first review, it's a cat and mouse, and a lot of Sun Tzu type of knowledge and paraphrases and quotes and stuff like that. Maybe not quotes from Sun Tzu, but like quotes similar to like, how should I say this? When a lion sleeps, a sheep creeps, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a cat and mouse. I really enjoy TV shows like that where, it's strategic. It's very strategic, and you're wondering how she is going to come on top, how she's going to win through the overall scenarios. There's a couple of twists and turns. I think personally it's pretty predictable. I also believe there's a couple of loose ends, maybe one or two loose ends, but that's my overall rating. Now let's go over what I liked about it real quick. And like I said, it's the strategic thinking, the way they wrote the series as a whole. Every title, it seems to be some type of quote of strategic thinking. Like the example I gave before, every title of the episode. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the series just for that. I was very curious to see how she would win and what moves that she would do and how these strategic thinking can help me with my day-to-day life. So when I'm watching these shows, sometimes I'm watching as entertaining, something like John Wick. I'm not going to do any of that in my life. But shows like this that I can actually do in my life, I look for. I say, oh yeah, I see that. I like that. I enjoy that. Okay, I can apply that to my life. And strategic thinking is something that I'm trying to improve in myself, especially being a new CEO, trying to build a business, trying to build a brand. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. What else did I enjoy? The characters in there, the acting was very well done. Of course, like I said, I've never seen a terrible actor in a Korean drama. They pick the right people. Whoever's the casting director, they pick the right people for the role to do these roles. It's just either they pick the wrong person, but that person acting was so good that, hey, we picked the right person, or they picked the right person for the role and it fit them very well. Either one, it's synonymous. It's very, very good. All the characters in there, the protagonist, was very good. I'm going to watch another Netflix series that she's in called Mine, just because she did an excellent job in this. I think she did a pretty good job in this. Very cold-hearted in this, blunt, but very, has a lot of mental issues. So we'll go on to that in a minute. We'll go into that now. They got into the whole mental health aspect as far as stress. She was very stressed out with work, which is one of the reasons that she was very dependent on prescription medication, and she had abandonment issues. So they never really dealt with that. So that's one of the loose threads. Her abandonment issues with her mother. Her mother, spoiler alert. Her mother did come back. They did meet. Her mother was always watching her. But there was, other than the initial fight and then a sit down post fight and emotions, there was no interactions. You know what I'm saying? Her mother is dependent on her to live a better life. But after that, it's just one text. You don't see the mother at all. And I felt like they dropped the ball on that quite a bit. I felt like they focused too much, way too much on the second female protagonist, and her love interest, which is her bodyguard or her secretary. They focus way too much of their love interest in that. You know, they could have backed off on that and then focus a little bit more on her mother and hers relationship, because they dived in heavy with her mental issues. But you the last episode, she simply just didn't take her pills because now her mother is dependent on her, and I'm assuming that's how they wrapped it up. But I felt like you put so much emphasis on it in the beginning, you should have put that much emphasis on it to finish it. Oh, there was a couple loose threads now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, let's get into it. All right. So they dropped the ball with the mother. They dropped the ball with the prosecutor. So the prosecutor basically was like, hey, the protagonist helped get a chairman out of jail. Okay, let's just say that. Helped get a chairman out of jail. The prosecutor who put him in the jail wants revenge. So he's like, oh, I got my eyes on you. I'm gonna do this and do that to you, whatever the case may be. He made his presence known. All he did was make his presence known, get her medical history, gave it to her antagonist, her competitor, for the CEO position, and that's it. And then he leaked that information when he was walking out the door. Spoiler alert, where he got fired. Okay, so okay, so she's not going to get back at, so she don't even know how he got the medical history. She don't know. So basically the prosecutor let us hey, I'm going to get you back. But she don't know. There was no conversation to say that she would know. There's nothing there. So I think they dropped the ball on that. They dropped the ball on that. They should have let that played out. Or just, I thought the antagonist was going to find the drugs in her drawer or something. There was no need to bring the protagonist. There was no need to bring in the prosecutor in the first place. There was no need for him at all. I don't see any reason. All the other guy had to do was get the secretary to come in, look in her drawer where all her pills are, or her purse that she leaves in her office. There's no lock on the office door, and he would have found it and would have been fine. That's it. So I felt like they dropped the ball in that. That was unnecessary. I mentioned the mother, and then I think that's pretty much it. There was no romance for her. You know, they didn't drop the ball on that. They just kind of left she was dating, but she's greedy. She wants to be a CEO, so she doesn't have time to have a family or a husband. That's kind of what I got from it. You know, one of the older ladies that was serving her at a restaurant pretty much said that. Yeah. So that's one of the couple of things that I didn't care for or didn't make any sense to me. What I did enjoy as well was, in the United States. So a lot of y'all are from Korea watch my channel. Most of y'all subscribers that I have. In the United States, they're going heavy-handed with, I wouldn't say female empowerment. I would say they're trying to replace a lot of males and male protagonists, or label a lot of male protagonists as toxic, just toxic, just call it. And then they talk about the male gaze, males like eye candy when we're watching TV shows and movies. Females do too, which I don't understand. But they're very heavy-handed over here in the United States, is my point. So this show is a female protagonist is the lead in this show. The second protagonist is a female lead. The comic relief is a female lead. The antagonist is a man. Is all men. honestly. The chairman, the vice chairman, the grandpa, they're all men. This show did not make me feel like it was out to bash men. This show made me feel like this is natural. It started off saying, hey, this company has old way of thinking. Okay, a male-dominated company with the grandpa being old. Okay, that makes sense. She's trying to climb up the ladder, but her counterpart, who's in the same position that they're competing to become CEO, is trying his best to get her out of here. All the chairmen of the boards are all men. Okay, that's very realistic. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. There was no male bashing or nothing. She was competing with and won her title. There was no men suck here, men. No, it was very realistic. This is a female lead. America feels like they make it sound like we over here have never had female leads in roles. You got Alias, Buffy, Dollhouse. Yes, J.J. Abrams and Josh Whedon are the main people who are all the shows that I said. These two men are the ones who pretty much produced and wrote and created a lot of these shows. You know, Firefly. The badass on Firefly was a female. This is not new. Okay, it's not new. We have it over here. It just, all the other directors and producers and writers didn't incorporate females. But it's not new. Buffy is old. Buffy came out, late 90s? Late 90s Buffy came out. Alias, early 2000s is nothing new. Okay? And majority of them still usually have a very female lead. These two gentlemen, right. Other men directors do the same thing every now and again. You know, they have their female leads. I don't think it's anything new. I think just this time with the Me Too movement and everything, it's just blown out of proportion. I feel like there's no need to replace, certain characters. Just create. This show created a show around a female lead is what I got from it. They didn't just, okay, we're going to replace and then bash all men and just everything about men. And that's what America does. And it doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, why not just create? Let your writers create female shows, female protagonists, and do what they do. Why replace He-Man? I was looking forward to that Kevin Smith He-Man and Tara, which is Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't remember. I forgot her last name. Who played Buffy? Voiced her. So I'm sitting here like, why have a show called He-Man, then have him disappear majority of the season, have her take lead, just create a show for her. That makes sense to me. Star Wars has Ahsoka? Star Wars has Ahsoka. Get you guys own show. Like, I just feel like they got to do extra over here. So I praise Korea for what y'all do. Y'all have tons of female protagonists and female-led shows, and you don't go out of your way to bash men. You go out of your way to bash old ways of life. And the show did a very excellent job with that. You can bash the old way of how things are done, but you don't need to go out of your way to just bash men as a whole. It doesn't make any sense. But as far as the agency, that's it. That's all I have for you guys. It's a laid back show. There are no nudity. There's really no cuss words or anything like that. So if you have kids, your kids can watch it and everything in the background. And that's it. Agency. If you've seen it, if you like my little rant, comment below. If you don't like my rant, comment below. Like the channel. I'm trying to like this video so the channel could grow, get up there. So a brother can stop doing these other side hustles and I can just focus on this. And I have my World Strong Fitness channel as well. I haven't really posted too much on there. I'm trying to focus on this. I decided to just do one video maybe a week over there and a couple more videos over here to grow this channel up. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.